Kruz, we're going to take a look at your video from camp. I'm going to let it run through a couple times. The first time is going to be regular speed, and then I'm going to come back the second time and slow-mo it, and then we're going to come back and break it down, analyze it, and make some comments and some suggestions for you to help you improve.
Kruz Waddell, class of 29.
Okay, Kruz, we're going to go right back to the very beginning. We always ask you to give us your name and your graduation. It helps us identify you in the videos. And right here, and then we ask you to jog in. We always ask you to jog in because we want to simulate things that would happen in the game. So you got to hustle into the ball game when coach sends you in for the extra point or field goal. And plus that gives you, it's a great habit, and it gets you to your spot. So you mark your spot with your holder like you're doing here. So good job on that. Make a habit of it. As you're jogging in, of course, obviously from the sideline as you're coming in the game, you ought to know exactly where you're going to be kicking the ball. So you need to be, as you're coming out, you need to just glance about right where the target is. So always when you're setting up and everything, and I'm assuming right here, that's what, of course, he's already set up there, but right there as you're jogging in, it's a good time right there just to kind of glance at your target. So when you're getting everything set up right here for him, you're going to line everything right off of that target and also your point of placement. So it's what you right here as you get up here. You look like you're doing a good job right there. You're showing the holder. That's what you're going to do in a game. Show him right where you want the ball marked. So you're doing a good job there. You're going right in there with some authority. And you're doing a lot of good things there. We just need to polish some things, I believe, here. Now you got your feet right here side by side, toe to toe. It looks like, and that's fine. Something to think about if you want to do it. I like what you're doing here. Just something to think about. You're going to be taking those steps directly back, and you want to do them the way you normally walk. So you might want to consider just maybe having your feet at the normal distance apart that they are when you're walking. I mean, it doesn't have to, but it might just something to think about. You got them right there side by side. They're look like they're touching. So you don't have to get them that close. I mean, if you like it that way, but what's most important is this leg right here. Here's your target. This left leg, that's your kicking leg. It's the leg that's got to come step straight back. And then your other foot's going to just follow right there alongside of it as it steps back, okay? So we're doing that right here. Let's watch what your step does here. I see you're coming back, and you look like you came. See where your heel is right there, and I'm looking where his finger is. You look like you're pretty close, but see how you've turned your foot? You got your feet straight here, but then when you come back, you've turned it. So now I'm looking at your toe, and it looks like now your toe is over here. It's lined up with that, so you kind of move that toe out. So if you can kind of see that right there, see where your toe is here. See where it is there, and then so your foot. So we're looking almost at his knuckle right there. And I don't think this camera is going to probably move, so it won't be true to that. But see where you stepped? See where the knuckle is right there? It's not 100% true, but kind of gives you an idea where you stepped kind of inside. So you're kind of drifting a little bit right here. I think and then your next step, so your next step even goes, see, it goes, now you're getting your walking step, and you step, now look where you stepped now. So you've gone from right here with both feet, so now you got this foot over here. So you kind of drifted a little bit. And this is, you're ready, you're doing some really good, fundamental, you have some really good fundamentals, and we just really need to polish it. We're striving for perfection. Now you come right back here and you kind of recover, okay, but now we can kind of see, you're going to see it right here. See how you got your foot kind of angled right there? I'd like to see those feet straight ahead instead of angled like this. Okay, just kind of try to keep it exactly how you had it when you started. So now you can see where you are here. Let's see, get right here. Now you're going to check it. He's got the ball where you wanted it. Now here's the problem. And it doesn't seem like a big thing, but it is. So you want to be right. Let me get this line right here on this. You're right there in the center, right there. There's the ball. And you remember you need to have all 3 points lined up. There's the center of the target. There's the ball. And there's your foot over here. Okay, so your foot is not lined up. You want to get it lined up. And I see you checking it, but you've just kind of drifted a little bit. So we kind of come from here. You kind of come over to here a little bit. All right. So just a subtle thing, but think about this, Kruz. This is something the remainder of your kicking career, high school, college, or even pro, you're going to mark your steps off, and they need to be precise, near perfect every time. And just think about it. You do it the same way every time, so that's where you can strive more for perfection on that. But it's so important that you get everything lined up, because that helps you set up right there. That alignment helps you set up your 90, which puts you in this same spot every time. And that way you have the same angle here, same angle here, and then you have the same spot right here. Okay, right here in this X. And then you're going to have the same distance to the ball. All right. So it's very important we do that. So it's just caught that right there. You can also take this hand and raise it up, kind of like you're lining your foot with the ball, with the target, like they do in the NFL. Some high school players sometimes shy away from that. I'm not sure why, but well, they just think it doesn't seem important. But I always tell them there's a lot of NFL guys take the time to raise their arm, and they're basically just taking their arm, raising it right above their kicking foot to make sure it's aligned with the football, then target, and then they bring it right back down, then they'll start their lateral steps. A lot of them do it, and some of them make $4 to $5 million a year. So it must be important, because they're at the highest level, and they tend to do it themselves. So something to think about. Now you're coming right here, you check it. We got to get that alignment. Now right here, now you come right to here, and I'd rather see you take the time to go ahead and get your feet aligned again like you did when you're up here. Go ahead and get them aligned. See, right now you're just kind of going, and I don't know if you think you need to be in a hurry for us, the camera, but you want to do it the same way you do in a game. We just wanted you to hustle in the game. We're not rushing you up. We weren't rushing you up on this. So I'm not sure if you do this all the time, you just slow it down a little bit. Not necessarily slow it down, just be more efficient with your time here. So get your foot right here and get this side by side. But again, see your foot's kind of turned out a little bit right there. And you kind of bend over at your waist right here. You just kind of bend over right there in the front, I can see. So go ahead. So come from right here to here, and keep your body nice and vertical here. Take the time, get those feet straight. Make sure they're aligned again like you did right here. See how they're aligned here? Do the same thing right here. Make sure they're aligned here. Don't be in a hurry. And then make a nice lateral step. And that one looks pretty good there, except that's a wide lateral step. And I could tell, look at your head. Look where your head is in relation to it right there. I got it right on the top. And watch when you go a little bit farther, watch how you'll dip. See how you dip right there? Because you've just reached too far. So really that first lateral step ought to be probably right about here, right about there. That would be plenty, okay? And then the second one should be a duplicate of the first one. So right here, I think you've got I think it's too wide a lateral step. And then what's this one? You've already turned your body a little bit. Say you kind of right there, say you're straight ahead. Now it looks like you've turned your body. Say your body's adjusted. See, you're straight. Now you've taken a good lateral, but you've kind of bent it. And then now you're doing things prematurely. You're trying to get in a hurry here. And then right here, you're starting to turn your body because you're going to be in this position. Okay, so don't be in a hurry. Real precise steps. Precise here. Shorter lateral. And then the next one and see how you've already turned. Look how you've already turned your foot there. Say your foot's already turned. It should be straight again. You got to turn there, and it should be just straight again, all the way across. Straight, 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 straight. Everything's straight. Keep your feet straight ahead. Then you get over here, and this is wide. This one doesn't look as wide. See, look at this step. Wide. And these ought to be mirror lateral steps. Mirror, they look alike. So right about to there, and then do one just exactly like it. And then right there, you'll pivot and bring your foot back. Okay, now let's go right to here. Okay, see how you're moving this foot here? You know, that foot right there, partly because you probably naturally have done that because see how you've kind of bowed this a little bit? You're kind of going here, and you're kind of bowing a little bit, and then you're taking that step back to get yourself back where you probably should have been in the first place. See right there? Now you bowed it, and your foot's turned already. Now you're going to kind of bring it back to put it where it probably should have been. Okay, so we want to eliminate that right there. We don't want to do this. You might watch the NFL. You might see an NFL guy do some kind of, but you got to remember those guys they're playing in the highest level. They go to work every day in the most phenomenal facilities, practice with the highest level athletes, the top 32 players in the world at each position, NFL. And so they can do some little bit of slides and stuff because they're doing things, they've done it most of their life at that point, in terms of their athletic career kicking in. So you've just got to, right now you're trying to build a foundation, firm foundation. Someday down the road, you get a little more older, mature in experience, you might want to do some little adjustments there, but you want to keep it subtle because we're trying to be precise. Okay, so you're right here. Now what you do a good job here. You get here in your stance. Now the thing I like to see is I want this foot, what you need to do, have this foot's aiming right toward where it's going to plant. It's going to plant right in this area, right in here. So you know it's going to plant right there. So it looks, and this is, again, you're doing a pretty good job, but I want it to really get, see, it looks like, just line it up, it looks like you're aiming there, and I want it aimed right there. And that's going to bring your see your shoulders here? It's going to bring your shoulders and everything more square to this direction too. Everything's going to go in that direction, okay? So it's important. This foot's a guide. It's going to guide the body to take the path right there as you approach the football. So make sure you get that foot there. I think you got this back foot too far back. Let me see. You take a jab. I believe you take a jab, don't you? Yeah, you take a high jab. Okay. Okay. And partly we're going to tweak that jab too, but right here, you get set. Now right here, if you take a jab, so this is your stance right here. We need to have this foot instead of here. We need to have it about here. You can still have it turned out a little bit, just like you have it. You can still have it turned out, but you need to get it up a little closer. Think of this. This is your stride here. You've got yourself in almost a full stride, and you're going to take a jab. So basically, if you're going to take a jab, the leg doesn't need to be that far back. Right about here, it's going to give you a little more concise jab step. Okay, it's going to be up a little bit closer because when you take the jab, then you'll be back at your regular stride. Right now, you're kind of overstriding on the jab. Plus, you're raising the leg too high. Okay, now right here, what I do like something right here. Watch when you get here. You get here and see how you're looking. You're looking at your target, which is fine, but I think you're doing it a little early. Get here, get set, get your stance right here. Then look. Get over here. Take your lateral steps, second lateral, get in your stance, and then look. After you're in your stance, you get set in your stance, then look up here, glance at your target. You're going to glance. You'll be looking here as you're getting in your stance. Once you're in your stance, you're going to glance to here. Then you're going to come right back down to the ball right here, point of placement, and you're going to wait for that snap. And when that snap comes, the holder's hand is going to go up to catch the ball. His right hand is going to be going up to catch the ball. And when that hand comes up, that's when your body's going to lean. You're going to be leaning to your jab. Okay? So you're kind of doing some things a little bit. You're going lateral. You want to get set. Once you're set in your stance, glance to target, come back. And then you've got to wait momentarily and get that timing down with your snapper and holder, because once you look back down, once you look at your target and come right back down, it's not time to go. You've got to wait. The holder, you got to nod at your holder, let it communicate with him how you do a nod, or he knows that once you glance back down and you go, you're ready. So you got to nod back, nod to your holder. Then he's going to extend his arm out, or he's going to call ready. However he does it, he's going to call to give the ready signal to let the snapper know he's ready, and then the snapper is going to be snapping the ball, and that's going to take. It may take 2 to 3 seconds. So right here, what you're doing here, you're coming here, you're glancing at your target, and as soon as you turn around and look at the ball, you take off. So I just want you, Kruz, I'm just trying to prepare you so when you get into practice and game situations, you got to be ready. You're going to come in there, you're going to take your lateral step, get in your stance while your eyes are glancing here, while now you're locked into your stance, glance at the target, come back to your holder, nod to him, let him know you're ready. 1001, 1002, 1003. That may be enough time while you're going to be standing in your stance. Then the ball is snapped. His arm comes up to meet the football. At that moment, you're in your stance. You'll lean and then take your jab. Right here, you're looking at the target right here, and then you're taking off. That's not going to happen in the game. Okay, so just give you a heads up on that. So just be prepared on that. Now, right here, this is what I call wasted motion. Look how high you're raising your jab. Okay, and then you're getting your leg too involved right. So you're bent here at the leg right here. What I'd rather see you do here is, see, you got your leg nice and straight there. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. See how you got it right here all the way down from your heel to back of your neck. That's pretty good. But I want this leg, consider having it up here. Then that foot's going to be still out like you got it. And then you're going to be in this position right here. Okay. And then the moment that ball is snapped, your whole body's going to lean, and this back leg's just going to stay. It's going to see, it's not completely locked out, but it's pretty much. But it's like a stabilizer. It's like just like a pole that's right up in your hip. It's just a stabilizer. It's just there, and it's going to stay. It's going to stay in that position as you lean to your jab, and you want that jab just to come barely off the ground. So you're raising that jab up high. See how you're raising it? And then look out. Remember I was telling you earlier about your foot, how your foot's aiming at the wrong spot? It's aiming over here. Watch it right here as you take your jab. Watch what you do with it. See how you turn it? Now you got it more. Now I think you've got it turned too much. But you've turned it. So get that foot aiming right toward where the plant is and keep it there. And then when you take your jab, you're already in line with it. Okay, now you take a jab there, drive step. Here comes the plant. Okay, your plant, you've kind of over rotated on your foot. Say your foot's turned to the right. Now generally, and you know this, just kind of a rule of thumb, generally that you want that plant foot to be aiming right toward where your target is. Okay, and your plant foot right here is coming that direction, but you've kind of turned that plant. See, you've got your foot turned that way, and that's, you want the plant aiming right towards where you're going to be kicking the football. Then it's like the initial guide that the rest of your body is going to follow as you kick the ball toward the target. Okay, so you kind of got it turned a little bit. See how, and then your heel slipped in on you. And I think too, right here, you're kind of too wide with that. And that might be part of the problem. You're kind of a little wide right here. See right there, and look how your foot kind of comes in. Now your foot's aiming over here. So that's going to cause you a little problem here. So your plant needs to be more right in here, in this area, right in there. Okay, so you're a little inside on that. You got your head down right there, and you kind of get under the ball a little bit here. You're close to having a pretty good hit. And of course, you're kicking off the ground, aren't you? You're kicking right off the ground, but you kind of get under it a little too much here. And your plant looks like it's in position. Basically, your ankle, the middle of your plant ankle, ought to be lined up with the middle of the football. So you look like you've done a pretty good job there. I just think your heel, just kind of have your foot right here going this direction. Okay, so you've kind of put yourself at a little disadvantage there, and you've kind of scooped the ball right here a little too much under. You kind of caught it just a little under. See how fast that rotation hits? To hit a little bit higher there. But again, we've just got to come back and get the plant worked out a little bit, get it in a little bit better position. Best way to do that, Kruz, is one-step kicks. Work on one-step kicks and then focus. That's a great drill to focus on, on your plant and focus on ball impact, your skip with your follow through. So that's a really good drill to work on. So consider doing that. Come right here. Now your arm's out to the side here. You just want to bring it across your chest. Now you're doing what we call crunching right here. So you're pulling your head down. Right there. See how your head position right there? Keep your head in that position right there throughout the whole kick. And pretend there's like a ceiling right here, just above your head. So right here at this point, there's a ceiling. We don't want our head to go above that ceiling, but you've got plenty of room here. You just keep your head right where it is. Don't even move it. But you're taking, see how you're dipping it down? Your head ought to stay pretty much right there in the same spot. And then you're doing this is what we call a crunch. Right here. You're crunching right here. Okay, you're taking your head down and you're fighting against, let your counter arm come across here, come across your chest. Let this counter arm right here, this arm right here, it's going to just come right across your chest. And you kind of take it low. So you take it a little low and your head goes down with it. And then the other thing you're doing right here, Kruz, is just you're taking this right, you're getting your left arm involved. Watch how you're taking your left arm and pulling it behind your back. See right there? So we need to clean this up. Keep your head in the same position throughout the kick, right here. Keep it in that same position. Somebody may have told you, keep your head down, keep your head down. Well, don't keep your eyes down. Just keep your body and your head in the same position, but you don't want to pull it down as you kick. You want to let that's going to let your leg power through it. Let that counter arm do the work and let this arm just kind of hang here. Like, see where it is right there? Let it stay there the entire time. But see right there, it comes behind you. We want this arm to stay right here. Just kind of let it lag. Just lag back. It's not doing anything, but it's just helping the body maintain balance while this arm does the work on the counterbalance, and the counterbalance of the right arm going sides with the swing of the leg. And then you got a pretty good skip going here, but you just inhibited it because you've leaned over so much. And you want this leg's going up pretty good right here. You want your kicking leg. We got to hit the ball a little bit better. You do have a pretty good, toes slightly lower than the heel. So you got a good striking position right there and leg lock and everything, but you're just striking the ball. You're just not consistent, I think, just on the approach. You just got underneath the ball a little bit. That's just one kick, so you might have just gone underneath it. But you got to keep that body better position, and your leg is going to be going up toward the left shoulder. And right here at the top, it starts rounding a little bit. I don't want to see it come over here. I want to see it go up here. I really don't even want to see, I don't want to see your foot peak right there. See it? I'd rather see it come right up through here toward this shoulder. It's going to be your right shoulder. Okay, make sure it's coming up toward, this leg's coming up towards your right shoulder. Right there. You're a left foot opponent, so it's going to come to your right shoulder. A right foot opponent's going to go to your left shoulder. So your kicking leg is coming from an arc from back here. It squares up to hit the ball, and then it comes right back up toward towards your right shoulder. So here's what it's doing. But you're right here at the top. Since you're crunching right there, your leg, it stops right there. It's not able to go any higher because you've crunched over. Let that leg swing on up through here, and then your skip's going to fall. You do a pretty good job on the skip. It's following the leg. It's just you let your leg kind of roundhouse. It comes here, and then it comes over here. We want that leg just to continue on and then skip the exact same way you're doing, okay? Some things you can work on. You're doing some really good fundamentals, though, Kruz. And these are just things you're at a more advanced stage. You've got some really good basics. We just got to clean it up and polish it, and you're well on your way. Great job at the camp. Kruz, got a little something extra for you here. Got a little comparison. I've got a college player just finished his eligibility, set all kinds of records, specialist of the year, just very talented athlete. And I know he's more advanced than you are, but it's a great example for you, a great opportunity for you to kind of compare and see where you are and see where you're striving to be. And this gentleman, he has an NFL caliber leg. He can play professionally, very talented. I got it frozen right here about where the ball contact is right here, just to kind of show you some similarities. Look at his foot, his kicking foot, and these cameras are filmed. They're pretty much positioned in the same spot. They're basically direct line with the target point of placement in your vertical kicking leg when you're marking your steps off. So it's right by, So basically it's just lined up with the point of placement and the target. Okay, so right here, you can kind of see your body position. Look at his head right here. I'm gonna kind of lock you guys up, and you can kind of see, look where you're, see right here, this is where I was telling you earlier. That's where I like to see your head. Just keep your head right there in that position, okay? Keep it right there. You start taking the head, start ducking in. You look pretty similar to him right here. There's a lot of similarities. You got a good pullback right here with your back leg right here. Doing a good job right here. I always want to have flexibility in that leg. You can see where he has a little more flexibility in his thigh area there, leg. So keep working on your flexibility. Look at your left arm comparison. Now look where your foot. Here's the thing. You're going to find out where your plant, you're a little too, see what I was telling you earlier, you're too far from the ball. And plus you can see where his foot is going straight toward the target. Your foot's over here going this way. So that probably contributed to you getting underneath that football there, okay? And you got your foot in that position there. Now watch what happens as this continues on. You got pretty good foot contact there. But now look at your upper body. Look at the difference. Watch your upper body go down. And see you've got that your counterarm. See how he keeps it straight, his counterarm straight, and he brings it across his chest. See how he finished it kind of high. You're finishing yours low. So look at the counterarm here. There's your counterarm. You're finishing yours low. And he's in the same position. He's coming low and he's finishing a little high right there. And that's good right there. See where he finishes? And the way your upper body's crunching, you inhibit your follow through. And see where your legs are similar right here? But watch his leg continue on up. And your leg has gone to the side. It's over to the side. There's yours to the side. I can't even see his leg. So right there, you take it to the side, and it peaks right there. I know it. You know it goes to the side because it comes right to it. Right when it comes to your hip, it just goes across because there it is. And see, his goes past it. See, his is right there. And then look how you've got this. See how he kept this arm there? He just keeps this arm. It's just helping him maintain balance while his kicking leg comes through and his counter arm comes across. You've got this jerking back, and you're over rotating. You're over that counterbalance with your arm. You're over rotating it. You're helping it, and it doesn't need any help. Your right arm does not need any help. So keep this arm down here and keep that body up. Look at his body. Look at his body position. Look at his head. And watch how he rotates underneath it right there. And see, you're out of control out there. Watch how clean he is at the finish. And look, right there, you're close. I mean, you do some things. I mean, look at that. You're pretty similar there, but you let that kicking leg go right to your waist and across. And then you over rotate that arm. And these are things, Kruz, you can fix, buddy. You're young. You've got time. You can get it corrected for this season, but take advantage of this video. It's going to really help you big time on the finish right here. So I'm going to let you just kind of see this. Watch the arm. Take it slow-mo. And this guy's a lefty just like you. He's so good technique-wise, I'll reverse him and use him to show right-footed kickers. So I haven't had to do anything on this. Okay, and focus on the finish like he does right here. And see how you're kind of hopping around right there? He's done. Watch how he finishes. He finishes right here. Clean finish. Okay, work on that. And let me back this thing up a little bit. We'll take it back to some things here. Let you see him align. Unlock it here. And watch him right here. See how I was talking about your feet? You know, consider you got yours real close together. Consider doing it like he does. Just kind of have those. It's just basically you got your feet together, and they're about the same distance apart as if you're walking. When you walk down the street, your feet are they're pretty close together. You've got them too close right here, and I just, it's okay if that's what you want to do, but I just think I would line up. I'm going to take steps exactly, keep my feet the way they are naturally, and I'm going to take my steps back. I just feel like it would help give you better alignment. Now watch how he takes his steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, watch that left arm. He's going to check it right there. And then he comes right here, and he gets himself set. He's got his feet still apart. See, look how you got your feet turned out. See, you're stepping, you're just kind of, you're just coming back there. You're not coming back clean. Keep your feet just like that. Keep the toes straight ahead. Keep it straight ahead. Almost like you look like you're walking in mud right here. Just kind of go right here. Just go ahead and get your feet, keep them straight. And then you can kind of see where we talked earlier. Let's just see this right here, and we'll try to move it here. Okay, look at his foot here. There's the target. There's the point of placement. There's his foot. Let me get right on that target. It's kind of hard on the right there. See how straight he is right there? You can see where his is. You can see where yours is. You're off a little bit. This alignment works no matter where you're on the field. So you just got to have these 3 points. Again, these 3 points, all they do, he lined up. And that helps get your vertical alignment, and then you do your lateral. Now watch his lateral. Watch how you just go right to there, and then you're going and leaning already. You're going. Go ahead and get there and get yourself. Stay vertical. Take the time to do it right. He comes. See, look how vertical he is. And then he makes a clean lateral. Look how he keeps his feet. There's a college guy. Now look how wide yours is compared to him. See how wide? You're going to find as you grow older, more mature, more experience, get stronger physically. You don't need this. You're going too wide. You want to have width to create the angle for the soccer style kick, but you don't want to go too wide. And it makes the angle greater, and it also makes the distance greater from the football. And you want to be more concise. So now watch him right here. It's yours. And watch how he does his steps. Watch how this. Oh, close this down just a little bit more so you can see this. And watch what he does here. He goes lateral. Look, they look duplicates. See how they're duplicates? Duplicate, duplicate. And then watch what he does here. Look at his feet. They're still straight ahead. Then he comes here. Then watch how he puts this right foot right where it's supposed to be. Now he's got that thing aimed. He's got this foot aimed right there. Right toward where it's going to plant. He's got his body there. See right here, you're kind of, see how you've already turned? See, he didn't do that. Watch what he does here. See, he doesn't turn like you. He doesn't turn. He turns here. You turned prematurely, and then it makes your lateral steps inconsistent. And this is good, really good info for you, Kruz. Not being critical. It's just direct and telling you things and showing you visually things that can help you. And I tell you what, a lot of people love to have this opportunity, what you're doing right here. And you've taken the initiative to come to camp, get a video, and this is why this is going to help you tremendously. So you're going to see this. Now watch him right here. Watch the kick right here. He's coming here, rotates here, pivots, gets his foot aligned. Now watch how he gets himself. He's in his stance right now. Right there. He's in his stance. And he's got that position I was talking to you about. Look at that neck all the way down to his heel. Back of his thing nice and straight. Watch his eyes now. Watch his eyes right here. See, now he's checking the target. And see, he's actually got a snapper and a holder. So he comes back. Now he lets the snapper, and he lets the holder know what's the holder's eyes. His head turns. See, it's taking some time here. He's calling for the snap. And then the moment that hand comes up, watch this right hand. It comes up for the ball. Watch the kicker right here. Watch his body. See how he's leaning? See how he's leaning right here? Look how he's leaning. He's leaning, and then he leans and takes a real short jab. Concise. Look at that jab. And he takes the jab, and look, see, his feet aren't as far apart as yours right here. Look how far apart you got your feet here. And see, plus you're almost standing straight up, and you need to have body lean here and most of the weight on that front leg. And have that front leg, you don't have a lot, but you got it pretty firm. It's pretty straight, your front leg. And just watch right there. He's just going to lean to the jab. Lean to the jab. And that back leg, like I told you, it's just like a stabilizer. It just stays the same way even through the jab. But by keeping his feet not too wide, when he takes the jab, now he's in a normal stride right there. So your feet are wide, and you take this high jab. Now you're like, now you have to push off with this leg to get yourself caught. So you push yourself with that back. You're pushing that back leg, and that back leg, we don't want to. We just want to see it's just stabilized. It's just right there. Back leg's not. He's not bending it and pushing with it. It's just stabilizing as he lifts that foot up slightly. He's leaning, creating the need for a jab. So he lifts the foot up lightly, and then he's ready. He goes right into stride. Approach for the football. We go right back to where we started. So work on that, okay? On that back leg. Work on that plant. So again, I'm gonna let you see it again right here. Watch him right here. He comes, he gets his lateral steps. He gets in his stance, checks the target, comes back, nods to the holder turns, calls for the snap. The moment the hand comes up, he leans to the jab, a real short, low jab, and he's ready to go and makes a tremendous kick. Great video for you, Kruz. Study it, make yourself better. Have a great season, buddy.